Want to know whether this backpack is right for you? Stay tuned as I give my pros and cons to the travel backpack 40 litres from the brand Tortuga. I have to be completely honest, when I first received this bag I wasn't completely sold, but after testing it out for a couple of months I realised it had more benefits than not. Before we get into the nitty gritty, let's run through some details. The price of this backpack is $349. You can get this backpack in the 30 litre or the 40 litre. I have it here in the 40 litre. The dimensions of this backpack are 21.7 by 13.8 by 7.9 inches, and that's 55 by 35 by 20 in centimeters. This is the bag on me. For reference, I am 5'6". You aren't going to fit this in as a personal item, however you can use it as a carry-on, but you will have to pay for that depending on your airline. They offer warranty on this bag in terms of defects and material craftsmanship for as long as you own the bag. The main body of the bag is made up of Shell 200. The face fabric is 200D, which is recycled polyester, and then the shell is the 3-layer laminated sailcloth material. This material works incredibly well for backpacks because of its durability, it being lightweight and it being waterproof. The shell is 100% recycled and uses no harmful TPU, PVC, DWR or other coatings. The zippers on this backpack are YKK zippers. I want to run through some details of this bag. This is the bag when it is completely empty, and this is the bag when it is fully packed. You have, let's say, 3 main compartments and 2 additional pockets on this backpack. So let's start with the front side compartment here. It is kind of hidden. It does run better in length than it does in height. There is plenty of space. It goes nicely for things like your books. I wouldn't put any personal items in here because as easy as it is to swing the bag over and have access to it yourself, then that means it is accessible to other people, so just keep that in mind. However, if you want to, then you could just kind of hide this tag in so that it's not as noticeable that there is a pocket there. At your own risk, you'll know yourself. Then on the top of the bag you have another pocket that has a key holder. The first pocket, there is an organizer. It's not really overwhelming enough for travel docs, accessories. Has amazing depth in the bag, also great for valuables in here because you have the double zip where you can put a lock on this. I love this fleece material. At the top it is a great spot for things like your sunglasses or phone. There is mesh material here which actually feels great in comparison to knack bags. If you've seen that video, head over to my channel for that. But that material was kind of like a mosquito net. This feels great, nice and soft. Then you have the clamshell opening, simplistic yet effective. Again, great material. One side is mesh and one side is not. The mesh isn't as soft, however, nonetheless better than other brands that I have tested. At the back of the bag you have the laptop compartment which fits up to a 16-inch laptop, as well as a tablet or any other tech accessories in the front little compartment, and it's held down by a strap, but I'll get more into that in just a minute. I have to say the materials inside of the backpack are soft, protective, ripstop nylon, again extra durability. On the side of the bags you have 2 water bottle holders, or for whatever you can fit in there, umbrella, tripods, things like that. Then you have your handles, strong, durable, no complaints here. Okay, let's get into my pros and cons of this backpack. The first thing I noticed about this backpack was the actual weight of it. It weighs 2 kg, but then I was looking at comparing it to other brands such as Wix Travel Backpack, which is 2.4 kg. Then I realized how, and I'll get more into it, but how the weight is completely distributed well throughout the bag. You're not struggling with the weight or anything like that. You have your sternum strap and your hip straps that absolutely help support that. It is built to last, and the strength and weight only adds to the overall quality of the bag. I was surprised at how comfortable the backpack was because it is so rugged. I wondered if the comfort would be then compromised just because of the material and things like that, but I have to say it is definitely one of the comfiest backpacks I have ever worn. I also found it useful to have these straps here to pull it in on and add that support, which is great because you can adapt it to your build and height. Same with the main straps. My first impressions of this backpack were a bit like, oh, and then over the testing period I was a bit more like, ooh, because it's definitely my style in terms of it being minimalist, simplistic, cleaned, cut shape. They definitely prioritize comfort over aesthetics, I would say. Not that it's an ugly bag or anything like that, but I have seen other brands have a more prettier aesthetic look to their backpacks. But if you think about whenever you're traveling, you don't want something that's very flashy that someone's going to be really attracted to. You want a long-lasting bag that's going to do what you need it to do in order to get through all your adventures, and this is the bag that does that. It does say that it fits up to a week's worth of clothing, but I think if you pack smart, or even head over to their website and check out their packing cubes, because if you do pack smart, then you might be able to get even more than a week's worth out of this backpack. So I just wanted to kind of zoom in on the laptop compartment because I touched on it briefly a bit earlier, but the zips only go down about a quarter of the way, and I find it a pro and a con, because one part of me is like, this is great, it's different, so it differentiates the zippers throughout the bag, so I know, okay, this zipper is the one that goes down a quarter of the way, so this is the laptop compartment, so I'm not getting confused. And I love the fact that it is easy to pull out, it doesn't go fully down. If we're thinking about pros and cons and things like that, it's just easy to take out the laptop instead of opening maybe the clamshell opening or things that zip the way down to the bottom and your things end up falling out. So this is where I play devil's advocate, because when you do pack this bag to the full, it is quite difficult to get your laptop in. I would advise packing your text at the back first and then packing the inside of the bag, but then you have to kind of be aware that if you're going through the airport and you have to take out that laptop, then you kind of have to repack everything again, so it's kind of an inconvenience. Maybe it's a pro, maybe it's a con to you. I thought I would just give you all my thoughts on that. So within the laptop compartment, you do have this fleece type material. You also have your mesh in the front, a lovely wee pocket. This is the strap. I would say I've seen better, definitely, but I think overall the aesthetics with inside the bag is definitely making up for the lack of aesthetics on the outside of the bag. I will quickly note, although this is it is strong enough, don't get me wrong, and you have no worries in terms of your belongings or laptops or tablets or anything like that moving within the bag, because it's literally suffocated in there. There isn't a lot of room. It does go down right down to the bottom. In terms of adding anything else in there, it would need to be flat, maybe like a book or paper or documents and things like that, but you can't really fully pack this back bit, which is understandable because you've got so much more room within the middle and the front compartment. That's a thing to note as well when everything is packed and you need something that is quick access. So you have that front kind of side compartment, which is great, but when the bag is fully packed, it kind of makes it difficult to get your hand in to pick out anything. So what I will say is put any kind of belongings that you need quick access to within the compartment of your hip strap. The hip straps are beneficial, they are removable, they are a bit bulky, and there isn't really enough room. I mean, you can kind of fit your phone in there, but that's probably about it. Or maybe if you want to place like cards and things like that, or your passport, so you have easy access to them if you're running through the airport. But they aren't as flattering as other hip straps that I've experienced. The back zip leaves you access to this plastic hardware in the back, which I feel is a bit untidy and unnecessary. However, this leads me to the harness system on the back of the backpack, which is adaptable via the Velcro. It is quite loud and a bit of an effort to adjust. The effort to adjust this harness system weighs out because you think about the fact that it's not going to go anywhere. You're actually secured in and you can adjust it to your build and height however you need it. The back is made up from mesh and foam. The straps are also. There is zero complaints in comfort. In terms of breathability, you've got this air channel down the middle that helps with this, but it's not that kind of bag that's going to soak up your sweat or anything like that. In comparison to SoulGuard, that kind of soaks in, that pad, that mesh soaks in the smell and the sweat, and over time you're just going to end up with a smelly bag. With this, I've had no issues and I found it very, very comfortable and very breathable. The straps here have added material for anything that you might want to clip on here. The sternum strap is not detachable, so there is nowhere to really store it. You just kind of have to have it hanging there. It is thin, but it is movable up and down to fit where you need it to go, so it isn't stationed, which I love. So the clam opening for me is kind of the main feature of this bag. Obviously you've got everything that you need in terms of comfort, your laptop compartment, your organizer, but for the real packing stuff, if you're going to go away with this bag, is in the clamshell opening. And what I love about this is that you are free to adapt this bag. For example, the clam opening, you have two compartments, one with the mesh opening and one not. No added pockets, which leaves you room to pack how you want. What I will say though is that I would prefer on the non-mesh side to have like a strap to hold down clothing and things like that, because I found when I opened it, and I opened it the wrong way, all my things kind of just flung out, which was a bit disappointing, but nonetheless it doesn't defeat the purpose of the whole bag. You're able to still use these water bottle compartments with your water bottle even whenever it is fully packed. I noticed that that was absolutely fine. This bag, in comparison to other bags, doesn't have like an extra bit of extension that you can zip and unzip, but I don't feel like it needs that kind of extension because it has enough depth for everything that you need from travel, equipment and more. I would have loved to have seen this bag in a different colour, although I would have still probably picked black because black is my favourite colour. It would have been nice to have a few options, but maybe in the future they will open up to that. This bag is perfect for travel, digital nomads, any adventure seekers. It's not though the kind of bag, in comparison to like knack bags, I would say knack bags is an all-in-one bag. It has your organisation, you can use it for a gym bag and then you can go on travel and work whatever you need. It is adaptable to that. You can even close it up and transform it into a smaller bag, whereas this bag is how it is. There is no adapting or closing off anything, so you are kind of stuck in between using it for travel and like work. You could use it for the gym and things like that, but I wouldn't. I think it's just more of a sturdy, strong travel bag, which is perfect because that's what it's advertised for, and that's exactly what it is directed towards. And I would highly recommend, if you are traveling or looking for a sturdy, strong, long-lasting bag, then this is perfect for you. If you would prefer to read the written review, then the links will be in the description for that. Also in the description will be alternative bags for different environments if you would like to go check that out. And if you do happen to have a wee gander at this bag, or you go on to purchase it, I would greatly appreciate if you could use the links below, as it does help me grow this channel and produce more further reviews for you guys. So I would really appreciate that, and thank you if you do. Don't forget to subscribe, that is helpful also. I hope you have a beautiful week and see you in the next review.